Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Deja's Diary, where thoughts are spoken out loud. Join me on a journey where we discover who I am while reflecting life along the way. Here on Deja's Diary, we discuss various topics, and today's topic is hearing versus doing. Dear Diary, have you ever had to break down within yourself hearing versus doing? And for example, I mean hearing as in hearing a word from God and doing a word from God. This topic sits near and dear to my heart because for a moment in a season, I believe I was deceiving myself with hearing God was the only thing that I needed to do when it came to me being a Christian. By that I mean like going to church on Sundays, hearing the word, being filled by the word, and in my immaturity, that was the only word that I received for that week. I didn't nurture it. I didn't take notes. I didn't pursue it in the way it was supposed to be pursued. And I think a lot of us get caught in that web of hearing God, and we think that's enough, and it's not enough. Like, you just basically become a library of information, and you have all the tools and all the keys to help yourself and someone else, but you just sit on it. You never give out a library of paths. You never host book club meetings. Like, it's just, you just harbor all this information in, which is like basically having no purpose of even having information. And that was hard for me to hear because it was a time where I had to understand that knowing and having the knowledge of God is not only where He is, like He's also in the doing, and the doing also requires faith, and faith is what truly pleases Him. And being stuck in the hearing, I began to pray and be upset with God, like, I'm not hearing you. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. Like, you told me to do this, but I don't see any type of action. And now that I think about it, He probably like, girl, I'm waiting on you. Like, I'm waiting on you to do what you're supposed to do, because this is only, like, some things are only gonna get done by you walking them out. Basically, like, you taking all the things that you have learned and all the practices that you have taught yourself and all the devotionals, and putting them to work in your life. And I know for sure that the doing takes a lot when the word that you heard is a lot. So sometimes you get paralyzed on trying to find or trying to hear all of the instructions, when sometimes He just says go. So that's a whole nother topic, because that go, I learned that I didn't trust me, and deep down I didn't trust God that He can do the thing that He told me to go do, which is crazy. But again, mentally I wasn't strong. I was so back and forth, teeter-tottering. And now that I think about it, that's a scary place to be, because I don't want to just have all this information. I don't want to just have this dream inside of me. I want to just harbor in the thing that God has called me to place in the earth. And if I was to pass away, I get in the line, He asks me, like, what have you done with what I gave you? Y'all, I mean, bust that crying. I bust that crying because nothing. I buried it. Like, you would have called me wicked. That's crazy. Like, no. So I'm now transitioning from hearing to doing, even when I don't know if it's the right thing to do, because I think there's a lot. That was one of the things that tripped me up a lot, because I was like, God, I don't want to fail. Like, I don't want to do this, and I get it wrong. Like, whoever said like you can't get anything wrong? Like, yes, it's gonna be some things that you think you heard God on and they aligned, and it might not be from Him, but it's either a learning lesson for you to understand that you need to be more in tune with His voice, but still He's gonna use the thing that you've done and turn it for His good. So it's like a win-win situation, but you have to be careful with it also, because there are consequences of the choices that you make. But I do believe that if your intention is pure and you're walking out the thing you thought that God has called you to do, I believe the Holy Spirit will guide you or alert you that this is not what God wants you to do. Being in tune with that is a good indicator of how you walk while you're doing the things that God told you to do. And also, one more thing is hearing and doing, but like on the opposite end. I know most of the time we talk about like hearing and going and doing, but also we have to remember when we hear to stop a certain thing, that's also the stop is the also doing as well. Like the same person that told you to start can be the same person that tells you to stop. So just discerning what he's saying in that moment, in that season, because certain things that I was doing in my walk with God was I'll just do, or if I hear it, I'll just go out and do it. And I may have done the right thing, but out of alignment, or my intentions weren't pure, or there was something connected to what I was doing was missing. And even though I was great and talented at that thing and was seeing some fruit from it, when I heard no, stop, it was hard for me to withdraw the thing that I was doing because I put so much emphasis on the go instead of the stop. Because there's anointing on the go, but there's also anointing on the stop. Because who's to say where I would be if I didn't stop certain things in seasons where he told me to stop them? And granted, I'm still like having skills, I'm still able to use them, and I'm still going to use them at a certain point in time. But there is things that God calls you to do. Even if he tells you to do them, there are certain things that he's called you to give back to him as well. So my advice to you all is to make sure you balance well the hearing and the doing, because too much of either one can get you off balance. And I believe the cohesiveness of both will get you where you need to go in God, but also put him in the center of it and having a fine-tuned frequency of his voice, because it's like double dutch. Like when it's time to jump in, it's time to jump in. When it's time to jump out, it's time to jump out. Like, but you have to be prepared. Like you have to be ready. You have to be like, you have to know the rhythm. So yeah, balance them both. So my questions are to you. Have you ever found yourself on the side more of hearing or doing? And if you have a good balance of both, what were your techniques to find that true balance between hearing and doing? Make sure you guys comment below and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Until next time.